So you have to not only be able to say, I'm willing to try to be committed. No, you got to be able to say to yourself, I see myself being happily committed. Now, granted, we cannot predict the future. Things will happen. And sometimes that happy commitment turns into people being miserable or all kinds of drama going on. God forbid. But hey, what's up, everybody? This is Stefan Laboussiere, aka Stefan Speaks, back with another dating and relationship advice video. Here to tell you the 5 things you need to consider before making a relationship official. Now, before we begin, as always, be sure to like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. Tell me one of the things you feel should be considered before making a relationship official. Now, listen, we could apply what I'm about to say to marriage. If it was up to me, we would be focused more on marriage rather than boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. Like, I really think that being friends and going to married is a more efficient process, but I'll have to break that down for y'all in a different video, all right? But the reality is that people get into boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. They want to make it official. They want to go through that process before getting into married. And just as you need to do your due diligence before you get married, well, you need to do your due diligence before you even make it official. Like, what's the point of getting in a serious relationship if you haven't covered your bases, if you haven't addressed things properly to make sure you can have a successful transition into a relationship with hopes of possibly now being married down the road? But what I've noticed is a lot of people just come to the decision of, I like them, I see potential, so let me get into a relationship with them. No. Stop with all that. That's not working. That is getting people into a lot of trouble because they are skipping the steps and skipping the questions and the things to consider before taking it there. So let me break down for you the 5 things you need to consider before making a relationship official. Number 1, have you discussed expectations? So here's the thing. How we behave or what we consider appropriate or what we expect while we're dating does not always tend to match up with what people are expecting in an official relationship. And where a lot of people go wrong is they assume that they continue with how they were in the dating phase in the relationship phase. And it really doesn't work like that. One quick example that comes to mind is if, and I'm not putting this on the men, but let's say as a man, she hasn't really required you to check in with her or, touch base with her on a more consistent basis because you guys are getting to know each other. And you start to believe that she's just cool like that. She's not putting any pressure. She doesn't need that she doesn't require that out of you. But lo and behold, she's only not doing it because you guys are still dating. But she is going to wholeheartedly expect that once you guys are official. So that's one example of something that has to be discussed beforehand. What is required of each other in a relationship? What is considered appropriate or inappropriate behavior once we're in a committed relationship? How do we handle certain situations? I would highly suggest sitting down and throwing out random situations, maybe situations you've experienced in the past, and say, okay, how would we handle this? Or how do we agree that this will be handled going forward? And the key is to make sure we're on the same page before we decide to make it official. Now, some people may say, well, why can't you just figure that out on the fly once you're official? Nah, that's how you get into trouble. That's how you cause problems and things only get worse from there. It's better to cover these situations and these issues before taking that next step. So sit down and lay out from each other what you expect from your girlfriend, what you expect from your boyfriend. Make sure you guys are in agreement with that. And if you are, now you can move forward. But if you see in that stage that you're not on the same page, that there are things that you think are ridiculous or are unfair or unreasonable for that partner to require, well, guess what? You guys, not only should you not make it official, stop the dating. It's done. Ain't nothing gonna work here. It's over. Move on to something better. Now, number two, to the second thing, or another thing you should consider before making a relationship official, is will you or can you be happily committed to this person? Now, you notice I said happily committed. Listen, some of y'all are trying to commit, but you're not happy. You're not at peace because for whatever reason, you either feel like you still want to live your life. You feel like maybe this person doesn't give you everything you need, so you need to seek it elsewhere. Maybe you're not truly in love with them. Whatever the case may be, if you can't see yourself happily committed, then what is the point of making it official? To become or to walk into an official relationship together is to say we are going to be committed. We only have eyes for each other, and we are no longer entertaining anyone else. Now, some people may say that should have happened in the dating phase, but listen, people date differently, and that depends on those two individuals. But what most will agree is once we agree to commit, we agree to be loyal and faithful, and that's it. So you really got to ask yourself, can I be happy with this person? And that's it. Can I be happy only allowing myself to entertain this individual? If you have any hesitation in that, it's not time to be official. And again, if it's not time to be official, it also may be time to walk away because you got to go deeper and say, why? Why would I not be happily committed to this individual? Is it a fixable issue? Is the problem that there is a glaring conflict that we have that we've yet to resolve? And if that's the case, cool. Let's address it. Let's see if we can resolve it. But if we can't, there is no point in moving forward. So you have to not only be able to say, I'm willing to try to be committed. No, you got to be able to say to yourself, I see myself being happily committed. Now, granted, we cannot predict the future. Things will happen. And sometimes that happy commitment turns into people being miserable or all kinds of drama going on. God forbid. But that's different than when you can see in advance you're not going to be at peace here. You're not going to be able to keep your focus on this relationship and this relationship only. And if that is the case, move on and let it go. The third thing to consider before you make it official is, do you see a future with them? So listen, unfortunately, there are a lot of individuals who just want a relationship. They just want someone they can talk to, they can cuddle with. They want that companionship in their life. And even though they don't truly see a future with this individual, they're willing to just go with the flow or enjoy it for the moment, see what happens, all types of things that should or are not healthy for the long term of the relationship. And they're not healthy, especially when that individual wants more than that. But start with yourself. Do you see a future with them? If you do not, if you only see them as a temporary filler, why are we trying to make it official? Again, if you don't see a future with them, but you want companionship, now, preferably, I would rather you just leave the whole thing alone. But some people might be cool with it. Though I think there's other issues going on there, still, two grown adults may agree that they just want to enjoy each other for the moment. If you communicate that in honesty and be transparent, and they're cool with this, fine. But to enter into a committed relationship with them, when you don't really see a future with them, especially when you have not made sure that they are okay with the fact that you see no future with them, is a very unhealthy, toxic approach to take. And it's unfair. And it's wrong, and you should not do it. And guess what? You're not just wasting their time, you're wasting your time. Listen, I know that everyone may not aspire to be married, but the most or majority of people, or I'll say most people, who are trying to have committed relationships, there's a part of them that wants to be married. If not, all of them wants to be married. Let's not be in denial of that. And let's not fool ourselves or fool them and try to play this in-between game. Again, if you want to be in between, then don't even be official. Then you guys can kick it as grown adults. I'm not condoning it. I'm not suggesting it. But if that's what you want to do, so be it. But at least you're doing it with you both being on the same page about it. But to do it when you guys are not connecting on that issue, that's a problem. Which brings me to number 4. Do you even want the same things? So listen, Whatever two grown adults want to do is on them. I'm not here to tell you how you have to run your life. I'm here to give you perspective, suggest to you what I believe or what I know is healthy and the more efficient way to do things. But you as an adult have to make your own decisions just as they have to. But you have to be fair enough to them to give them honesty and allow them to make that decision for themselves. And so you have to talk to each other and find out, do we even want the same things? Because if we don't, what the hell are we doing here? What is the point if we want to go in different directions with this relationship? And neither of you should be trying to convince the other or think to yourself, well, I'll hang around here hoping I can get them to now be on board with what I want. So if you just want casual and they want something serious, don't think you can beat them into submission of wanting something casual. Same way, don't think you can convince or trick them into thinking they want something serious. It's not going to work. And even if you possibly at some point succeed, trust me, you're doing it with them going against what they really want. Therefore, it's going to create conflict within them. Therefore, it's going to create conflict within the relationship. So you're creating a very unhealthy environment regardless at that point. So there's no need to fight what they really want and to go against what you really want. If y'all not there with each other, let it go. Move on. You know, as I keep saying it, let it go and move on. We got to stop holding on to relationships we don't belong in and stop dragging along situations that aren't going anywhere. And the last thing to consider before making a relationship official is, have you addressed any lingering baggage? Now, when I say baggage, this may sound bad, but I mean baggage in the sense of emotional baggage, but also anything that you may determine as baggage. So for example, if they have issues with the child's father or child's mother, all right, that could be considered baggage that needs to be resolved. If they are having conflicts or they allow their family to be a problem in the potential relationship, that's an issue that needs to be resolved. Whatever you think is lingering baggage that needs to be let go and released, it needs to be addressed. So yes, have they also healed from their past? Have they healed from their past relationships? Now, again, we live in a society that wants to say, well, everyone has issues, everyone's broken, no one's going to be perfect. And I completely understand that, yes, most of us have experienced issues, but please don't get it twisted. Not everyone at the moment has issues that are detrimental to the health of a relationship. It is one thing to have some struggles and flaws that we're still working on. But many people, and it may be you have issues of unresolved pain and hurt and disappointment that will actually impact the relationship in a very negative way. That needs to be addressed. That needs to be resolved. If you need help with that, please check out my book, Love After Heartbreak. You can click the link in the description or in the comments section, or go to loveafterheartbreak.com, which will tell you how to heal from any past hurt, relationships, family, you name it. But regardless, you cannot skip this step. If you are serious about setting yourself up for a great, amazing relationship and one that can then potentially become a healthy, amazing marriage, then you gotta do the work first. And part of that work is making sure you both healed. We talk about marriage counseling before getting married, which people should do. But guess what? You should also do couples counseling if you're going to talk about getting serious with each other. Some of y'all may say, that's crazy. We're just dating or we're just in a relationship. Well, listen, if the point is to get to a higher level with each other, why are we kicking the can down the road? Why are we going to take the chance of those old issues, that baggage, creeping into our committed relationship, wreaking havoc and ruining the potential of something better occurring between us, ruining our ability to take it to the next level? That doesn't make sense. It would be better and more efficient to address those things as soon as possible. Now, I would love for everyone to do the work while they're single. I would love for you, if you are single now, to focus on your healing and not wait till you meet someone. But if you have already, or you've overlooked this for whatever reason, no more overlooking, no more moving past it, no more kicking the can down the road. It is time to heal, resolve the issues, and get your things in order. That baggage cannot go with you into your relationship, and you cannot expect your partner to just deal with it. You cannot take it and just dump it on them and say, well, if you love me, it's your problem too. Granted, they should be encouraging, helping you, and it's not that we won't face issues together, but when you are coming into it with baggage, it is your responsibility to correct it and address it, overall resolve it. All right. So those are the 5 things you should consider before making a relationship official. As always, leave your comments below what you think is maybe another thing to consider before making a relationship official. Be sure to like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.